Okay, so I want to tell a personal story that is a little bit hard for me to tell. Starting back from when I was first starting my career as a physician, graduated residency, fellowship, and got my first job as a pediatric oncologist. I was working at a practice that was affiliated with the prestigious St. Jude. This was a wonderful opportunity for me, and I was really leaning into my identity as a good doctor. I was in clinic 4 days a week. I took call every other night. I took call every other weekend. If any of these little babies with cancer needed me, I showed up. I'm thinking that this is what good doctors do. They're available to their patients. The patient comes first. And although I had 2 little kids at home and I'm trying to establish my adult life in a new city, sacrificing most of my time in service of my patients, how couldn't I do that, right? How could I say no? These were children with cancer. And I was there to save them. I was there to heal them. I was a good doctor. Like I said, anytime that they called, anything that they needed, I was giving out my cell phone to parents because I didn't want them to have to go through the hospital. That was going to be too much hassle for them. And really just continued to see myself as this is what a good doctor would do. This is what good doctors do. I was exhausted, by the way, but I was doing what good doctors do. And it really took a really sort of pivotal moment for me to understand that that wasn't actually what good doctors do, because that lack of boundaries was not only harmful to me, eating into my sleep, eating into my family time, eating into my mental health, but it was also not good for my patients. There was one time when I was here in Orlando taking my children to Disney, riding the rides, visiting with Mickey, doing the princess photos, all of that. And meanwhile, I'm slipping away every 5 minutes to answer phone calls about a patient back in Baton Rouge who was dying. Remember, they all have my cell phone number. So of course they're calling me because they don't want to talk to the on-call doctor. They don't even know the on-call doctor. How would they know the on-call doctor? They always just called me. So now I'm trying to manage this from 500 miles away. My kids are upset because I'm not paying attention to them. And the family is alone because their beloved doctor, who has sacrificed everything for them, has now completely abandoned them on their worst day. In that moment, I really realized the importance of boundaries and that the importance of redefining what it means to be a good doctor, and that it does not mean sacrificing every single bit of yourself in service of your patients. Now, I think a good doctor looks like someone who works as part of a system so that the patients get to know all of the doctors. So that if I take a day off, they still have somebody that they know, like, and trust that can take care of them. And now I know that I may not be able to save everybody. Some patients are not going to be cured of their disease. If I set up a game where the only way I'm a good doctor is if everybody gets cured, that's a losing battle for me and for everybody else. And then when I over-identify with my role as a physician and no longer see myself as a full, well-rounded human being, then if ever that's threatened, if I have to step out of that for any reason, God forbid my license were to get threatened, maybe I get sick myself and I can't practice medicine, my entire identity isn't completely washed away. So these are all things that I bring into the work that I do now with my clients in trying to help people see how over-identification with their role is actually so detrimental. And instead of seeing that as the markers of a good physician, we can redefine that and actually begin to not judge our former selves. We did what we knew then, but now we can see a better way where we're defined not by this availability, but by well-being and well-rounded.